Alrighty. Very good. I got it. Yeah, live, but
Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, wonderful. We have this new device. We've gone digital. How's that? Is that a little better? We don't usually do this kind of thing, but we're doing a ritual tonight. This is we've been. I think it's time. I'm Jeff Dodge, and welcome to the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. We've been invited to, we've actually been members of the Fraternal Order of YouTube Brethren for a number of years. It's kind of part of the deal. If you want to be a YouTube podcaster, you have to join this group. And tonight, the commander has now done enough episodes that we're bringing him in to the sacred brotherhood. So our great representative Patrick, who is one of the King Order men of the Knights of Columbus City, he's requesting that the subject put on a white robe. The subject is questioning.
Wait, is that the Knights of Columbus, Missouri?
Columbus, Missouri? Is that way? I think that's
so that's why you've got a white robe and hood going.
Oh, did we brought the wrong costume, didn't we? Well, Patrick, read him his rights. Read him his rights, if you will, please. This is a sacred ritual.
So you think you can be a member of the Fraternal Order of the YouTube Brethren? Well, we don't just give this membership to anyone, otherwise I will devalue it. We're gonna put you to the test first. So the first...
My oh my. Yes, please.
First, so to prove you're worthy of membership material, we need to first you need to draw 6 circles with each top and bottom each intersecting, and then 3 triangles on top of that to
6 circles with 3 triangles or something like that.
Intersecting to make the all-seeing eye, the Illuminati, and you must use perfect 60-degree angles for the triangles, and have the circles have perfect ratios of pi to diameter to circumference.
Can you do that, Commander? Can you do the test?
Can I use the internet to do it?
Is that okay?
Okay, sure.
It is kind of 2019. Here, help yourself. In fact, Rich, what does your kick drum sound like? That's kind of... Oh, I think he did. How's that? Does that work?
I guess that passes.
Okay. The next question. Question, please.
Next, you have an angle that. Next, you have an angle that is a part of a right triangle. One of the side lengths is 5. Another one of the side lengths is 12, and another one of the side lengths of the right triangle is 13. What are the other 2 angles besides the 90-degree right angle?
Oh, I know that. Steve knows that.
Can I take my hat off?
Sure.
Alphabet soup.
I guess that works for that. According to the scrolls, that works.
Okay.
Alphabet soup. It's kind of a funny phrase, but yeah. Here, let me see.
A can and a half to be exact. That would suffice.
And for the final challenge, Oh wait, second to last challenge. You must denounce 3 denominations of Christianity. Whichever 3 are your choice, but you must denounce 3 sects of Christianity.
Like the Baptist or the Methodist
Yeah.
or...
Any 3. You have to say they are false religions.
Well, hold on, partner. Can I go back to Oklahoma for this part of it?
Yeah.
You can give me till the end of the year, right?
I prefer...
Because I like to do it in person.
As long as you...
Can you talk to the elders on this and get back to me? Because
the Presbyterian.
this could be a deal breaker. I might have to consult my, administration.
The Angelicans.
Hey,
Higher order of, well, the Angelicans and
The Huguenots.
you can worship
Calvinists.
any of
the
Christian
Centaurians.
types of Christianity that aren't in that list of 3 you want. Just, you have to denounce forever 3 sects.
Jason and the Huguenots. Wasn't that?
Well, I'm gonna go with the missionary sects.
The missionary sex is the correct answer. That
The reverse
position.
cowgirl sects and the
Yes.
anal sects.
That's exactly it. That's all the sexes that are banned by every one of those Christian churches. You nailed it. We got him in. Let's sing him the song. The song that we
the
sing.
last final
wider.
challenge
I already feel.
is you have to take this cable and braid it.
What?
Alright, the success. Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Skip the life fandango, turn cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kinda seasick. The crowd called out for more. The room was humming harder as the ceiling flew away. When we called out for another drink, on the way they brought a train.
Just a minute.
We are 27 years away from the planet blowing us away. If you really don't want to stay, then you'll float off in the Milky Way. That's a revolution, man. It's trying to really understand. And the truth of our mission is to heal another vision. Join our Peasant Revolution band. Join our Peasant Revolution band. Join our Peasant Revolution band. Come join our Peasant Revolution band. Well, the status quo just can't stay. It's gotta go, get the hell away. Well, I tried to get me some peace today, but the future seems so far away. Peasant Revolution band. Let's try to really understand. And the truth of our mission is to heal our division. Join our Peasant Revolution band. Join our Peasant Revolution band. Join our Peasant Revolution band. Join our Peasant Revolution band.
These Catholic cults
Yeah,
are
they're crazy.
all over the
Do they
place.
sound good? Do they make good music?
I don't think so.
The Catholic cult? Is that like a new
Yeah.
version of them?
We mean Catholic.
Praise rock. Praise rock.
Songs?
I'm
Cult? Is that
telling
what they're
you,
the
some
Cure?
of the best
Cure,
music
I think.
is happening in the churches these days, Jeff. That's
Yes.
where they're keeping it alive.
There's great music. We're back. We seem to be back in some form or another.
Yeah.
And I guess we're having audio difficulties. Let's see.
light.
There, that should help a little bit.
light.
No,
Yeah. Imagine.
we have a guest out there. I don't want to reveal an identity, but we're getting complaints about the sound. So if I talk into both mics, we might get one more viewer. All right, that's just a nightmare. I've got an idea. As you can tell, I'm Jeff Dodge of the Revolution Band Variety Hour.
You got a band.
We are we're here in the studio with Mr. Rich Reese, our musical director on
Hi,
drums.
folks. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's wonderful to see you, Rich, and of course the commander, who is now part of the fraternal brethren of YouTube.
I feel like I've transcended the fruit barrier.
Yes, yes.
Strawberry good
Yeah,
fruit.
he's really tasting the rainbow over there. He's,
Go for the rainbow, as they say.
that's right.
Especially after last month.
Oh, you bet.
Right. So, speaking of last month, you've been traveling a lot, haven't
I've
you?
been around a little bit, not too much, I wouldn't say. Since our last place, really all I've been to is Eugene. I've been to Salem several times. So
Have you been to the caves, or?
I've been to the caves since Memorial Day, maybe? I was down there sometime, not too long ago. You know, I was down there whatever the last time Scott was down in Coos Bay. We were actually down at the same time, and we failed to connect. It was right before our last show, so maybe it was Memorial Day.
Have you ever been to Coos Bay? I'm getting real curious about
I've been to
that.
the Coos. It's a real place.
Yeah.
You know,
It wasn't Sam Adams was from there, I thought.
he's from Newport.
Oh, he's a Newport guy. Oh.
There's this big competition right now between Newport and Coos Bay to see which city can have more citizens completely fucked up on heroin. So,
Who's boss?
Really?
yeah.
That's so like 1990s, I thought. They're
It
still
is. Well,
doing
so
that.
is the coast.
That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
a good point. Yeah.
The Coos, it's, the thing about these coastal cities is their relative population compared to the rest of the state used to be a lot higher. Coos Bay and Astoria used to be relatively the same size as Eugene, for example, if you go back to like our grandparents' days.
Really?
And there's still some families that are still around down there.
Well, you've met Scott's
oh, sure. I mean,
better half.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
is of a historical background.
Oh,
3
yeah.
generations in or so.
Yeah, they've been around forever. They've been down there longer than my family's been in Florence, and that's 100 years for us. Yeah, Scott's connected to some real Coos County royalty there.
Well, yes.
And can't be a sound
They make
for
a comeback, aren't they?
The Coos?
Coos County comeback.
Yeah.
County comeback.
That's, just like the 86 gubernatorial race. The Coos County comeback, yes. But yeah, God bless the coast. Yeah, I was just down in Eugene over the weekend. And
Sure. Any duck activities or?
I didn't see any sports stuff.
I think I saw a picture of you posted like at the Glenwood. Were you at the Glenwood?
Yeah, we went to the Glenwood.
I used to drink coffee. That's where I got introduced to coffee. It was,
sure.
The black and white is what they called it. Do you remember those?
No, that was a little before my time. They just had coffee.
That probably wouldn't be acceptable now for some reason. No.
Yeah.
And then the Irish have some version of that too. Come get your.
Don't get me started on the
Yeah.
Irish. Yeah, that's the path we don't want to go down.
It's the Irish coming to a theater near you. So.
Yeah, we actually. Did we talk about this last time? Somebody in my family did one of those genetic things.
Oh, really?
And we discovered there's way more Scots-Irish on my mom's side. And she's adopted, and so we never had any idea.
You didn't want to know that. You're saying.
No, we'd been told, and when you have those situations, there's all these things you hear, and then, you can get confirmed.
No, you're Scandinavian on the other side.
On my dad's side, yeah, Scandinavian and Welsh. Who's from Wales.
Yes, the Dodgers are Welsh.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
and
yes.
Badfinger. I was thinking more of
That's right.
The Hams are from
Swansea. Was that the name?
Yeah, Swansea. Yeah.
I so want to visit there. I guess there's a shrine to Pete Ham there.
You should just go.
Yeah. We're
Actually,
working there. We're going to Idaho soon. So
okay, that's in the right direction.
Almost there.
Yeah. Now, where are you guys going in Idaho?
My cousin Jim Mills. Shout out to Jimmy. He has he's actually, I think, developing a winery up there in Sandpoint, Idaho.
Sure.
I don't really know the
You're
area.
going to meet all
It's
kinds of people up there. Yeah.
I hear it's kind of near Ruby Ridge, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah. What's that guy's name? Randy something?
Randy Quaid? Is that when Randy Quaid went nuts about the...
Oh, wasn't it Dennis that went nuts? No, it was Randy that went nuts.
Well,
Randy Weaver.
With good reason, he was betraying the brethren of the Fraternal YouTube Order number 6969 in Los Angeles, which we would never do.
One of the funny things I did hear about Randy Quaid is that he would go to hotels. This is when he was losing his shit. And he thought he was famous enough to run a tab. So he would show up and check in as the cousin character from Cousin Eddie, from the vacation movies. That they would just run up a big old tab on that name and then just skip on it. And that seemed funny to me. But I'm Cousin Eddie. I'll pay you later. And then they would just skip out on it. It's kind of sad.
There's certain characters you can play that works.
I
think the Big Lebowski, right? Jeff Bridges probably gets anything he wants if he puts the sweater on.
That's true. Well, he's actually famous and from a legacy family too.
The great Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah.
The wonderful.
It's
a hell of a time to quit sniffing glue.
Exactly.
As well as Sea Hunt.
Right. I will say that I would comp Jeff Bridges probably before Beau Bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo's kind of seems like kind of a sack of crap. I mean, maybe he's a nice guy.
Bo, I think the role he was meant to play is they should cast Bo Bridges as Jeb Bush. Now, I don't know why you would make a movie about Jeb Bush, but I know Bo Bridges could play him perfectly. I think they'd be just right on, you know?
Well, you know, there was that movie, I know we don't like to talk about mainstream stuff here, but there was that movie, The Descendants, about the Hawaiian family a couple of years ago.
I never saw that.
You never? Oh, you should see it.
With,
you know,
what's his face? George Clooney, right?
Not my favorite guy, right? But it's about a family business and a tragedy, and you know, you've got the family business, so you can relate to some of that.
It is tragic, yes.
And Bo Bridges plays the cousin who doesn't do shit. And the implication is that he's loaded up with debt, and he would benefit from this family selling off their land. Anyways, I just thought it was perfect.
That is wonderful.
So yeah, what else is going on with the Dodges these
Well,
days?
I see that we've burned up an inordinate amount of time already, so I'm going to go ahead and run our first commercial.
You bet.
I don't want to get us in trouble with our wonderful sponsors. So thank you for watching. We'll be right back after this message.
I've asked these folks many a time why I have to keep doing new voiceovers for new commercials. And, they're always saying, well, what? You don't want to work? What's wrong with you? And, of course I like working. And I like Safford Brothers Downtown Blend Taste the City coffee, too. It's great. I'm just going to sit around, drink this coffee, and do these voiceovers, and that's my life. I'm a bit agoraphobic, if you don't mind me saying. I don't leave the house anymore. Okay, I get my Safford Brothers Downtown Blend Taste City coffee delivered. It's great. Look into it. Look into drinking this coffee too, because you're gonna love life. You're gonna be happier. You're gonna have good coffee, and you will even smile. Portland's hottest band. Coming to Portland, July 29th, Monday. All ages. Show starts at 6 p.m. Toledo Vader, featuring the newest song, Goo Noise Rock. Portland's hottest band, appearing at the Pichu Ballroom, Monday, July 29th at 6 p.m. for an all ages show. Toledo Vader appearing with Schmecky Mac and Adam Behavior. Noise Rock.
I'd rather see a dead little girl than to be with another man. You better keep your head, little girl, or I won't know where I am. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide head.
So, what do you think I'm going to be doing today?
It's a little.
We're back. Yep.
People like forget about it. It's like, oh yeah, where is it?
We're back. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour.
Right.
We've had a night of, I'm not going to lie to you, you guys are a great audience, so you deserve some honesty. We've had some technical difficulties tonight, and
That's
I've been
right.
trying to mask them a little bit from you. One of them is that Steve, as you can tell, has been sort of spotty, and he's in a bit of a predicament where he's got to get his bass out of hock and the amp, and we're waiting. There's some negotiations going down, so hopefully in the next 23 minutes we will get our bass player back.
Good. Yeah, he set off with a bottle of mouthwash and headed out to 82nd and Sandy, and he should have that money in no time.
Well, you know his bookie wrecks. I mean, they're totally out of control when they get together.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That last bit we did,
it
just makes me so happy. I've been really digging the tone of this Fender. I got to tell you, Rich, Commander.
Sure.
That this new thing I've been doing. I put it up here like this, and just listen to this distortion, man. It's so cool. Wait. Okay, hang on a second.
What's going on
that's
there?
not what I was trying to show you.
Yeah, I mean, those are some interesting sounds.
No.
Sure.
We had it with Rain, right? It was really cool. It was. It's never done that before. It's never fucking done that before.
You know
what is going on?
The sausage is good enough. I'll pick the cat hair out of it.
It's expensive sausage, too.
Yeah, there's some on the floor here, so I think, well,
I'm not going to touch it anymore.
so is that thing possessed or something, or what do we got going here?
It is. It's like it's haunted. It's haunted. I already feel better not being next to it. But
Yeah. So
has it been getting cooler lately?
I can't even tell anymore. You know,
I mean, it's July. It's so cold.
Do you have air conditioning on in here? It's
Dude,
cold.
let me turn the air conditioning on. I mean, I'm really getting cold.
Oh, hey, here comes our old friend Steve. He's got
He's got the bass.
yeah,
Yes!
Finally.
He
the
made
bass
it.
has
got some
arrived.
bass all up in this
Bookie Rex.
motherfucker.
That's great. That's great. Well, let's get a jam going. That's wonderful. Wait a second. Hit your E.
How you playing that
It's
guitar?
doing it. It's still doing it.
Unbelievable.
Oh man. I'm not touching it.
Watch this
all that
sausage
double
there.
music.
Jeff kind of
Oh, it's so cold. It's so cold.
Are you okay?
You guys don't feel that?
Jeff, I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
You know, why don't you guys just kind of go ahead and do the show? I'm just gonna warm up a little over here. It's so cold.
Right.
Come back to us, Jeff.
I'm a little worried. He doesn't have health insurance, and
Jamila, is there a priest?
I think it's our YouTube brethren. There's something weird going on.
Oh,
that
no.
ritual went backwards. Let's take a commercial break.
Go to number 3.
Come to a world I created just for you. A world where you enjoy the pleasures of the epidermis. Skin so beautiful, your eyes will cloud with the tears of pure joy that you will be crying as you worship the women who display their epidermis just for you in my epidermis emporium. We're open all night to allow your eyes to feast on this bounty of flesh and skin and what we like to call epidermis. It's so beautiful, it's so well taken care of, it's so lovely that you will love it too, and you will spend a lot of time at Vladimir's Epidermis Emporium. Portland's hottest band, coming to Portland, July 29th, Monday, all ages. Show starts at 6 p.m. Toledo Vader, featuring the newest song, Gaga Noise Rock. Portland's hottest band, appearing at the Pichu Ballroom, Monday, July 29th at 6 p.m. for an all ages show. Toledo Vader appearing with Schmecky Mac and Adam Behavior. Noise Rock.
We're back. Steve, you got your bass working.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful
No
news.
longer possessed it.
Yeah. We, unfortunately, we did all our songs already, so I don't know. Maybe we could come up with something. I know. Maybe we should, is Patrick still in the house? We got Pat. Maybe we could have a little, we got, our young friend from last episode is so generously donated his time and returned to provide some additional writing. As a young writer with Trench Digger Productions, where do you plan on taking us this season?
Definitely maybe a little bit more psychedelic, a little bit more creepy. Like I've been getting into some Lovecraft and like Stephen King stuff, and I really want to.
He's very creepy. Yeah.
I already made like some scary basement pictures and posted on Facebook. That it's like nice to just make this show creepy again, I guess.
Make our show creepy again. It's a motto. We should get a hat with that. Make our show creepy again. Is that MAGA? Or
First
Moga?
year was really
Moga?
creepy, and we've laid off a little bit.
Yeah. You mean the whole Mr. Bojangles and all that? Oh, Bojangles. Speaking of creepy, have you, Rich, in your travels, have you ever been by this Little St. James Island area?
No.
There's this guy, Brian Epstein, I don't know if he managed the Beatles or something, but he owns an island out there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Lolita Island.
Lolita, right, with Stanley Kubrick's movie Lolita, and they...
Sure. So, back when I had just gotten my commercial license, I was subbing. Actually, I got the first officer, a little flight going out there from... It was just Atlanta direct, so it was pretty quick.
So you did do a mission. Who was on your flight?
Oh, it was Ted Turner and then a bunch of execs from Coca-Cola. And some Atlanta Braves, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And...
that's a full house. And
it was super weird. It was super weird. Relative unknown radio personality from Indiana. A guy named Mike Pence.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, he was on the flight as well.
And was he with his brother, Jerry Pence? Is that his name? I think.
Yeah.
No, am I getting that mixed up?
He was all on his own.
Van Dykes. I'm thinking of Jerry Van Dyke. I'm sorry.
And so Pence, he was all excited because he's making this transition from being a shitbag conservative radio host to getting into politics, and this was like part of his proving thing was to go out to that island. So this is very exciting.
Well, and I guess the island was a proving ground like that. What's that movie with that girl that I guess it started working at the island? She's like a celebrity now. She's in the... she plays the X-Men in Blue girl. What's her face?
I can't keep up with that stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. I always forget. They move so fast. It's like they're in, they're out, they're old. Hollywood is no fan of old women, especially past 13 or something. It seems like it's just weird. Anyway,
so we've got that going.
I'm glad I'm in Oregon, and I'm glad that there's nothing weird that goes on in Oregon.
Yeah, pretty straight stuff here.
Do you remember when Goldschmidt was governor?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So when we moved to Salem in '86, which of course was the year of that election, and part of the deal. So prior,
who is against Paula? What's her?
Yeah,
right?
I just read an article about that the other day. She really messed herself up on that. She basically had the election, and then she said something stupid to a reporter. She's like, "Well, I've got a mole in his campaign." I don't know if she was trying to be funny or what. She didn't. She clearly did not.
Yeah.
And then that just tipped the scales in the other direction. But so Goldschmidt moved to Salem, so there was no governor's mansion back then. The state would give the governors an expense account for housing, and that's what
So where would the governors live then?
There's some big old houses on Summer and Winter Street, which is just straight north of the Capitol. So
where was Atia's house?
Tia just had one of those places, and he still had his home up here in Portland. Right. A fairly nice place. So he just rented a place near the Capitol down there, and this wasn't good enough for Goldschmidt. So he raised some money, about $500,000 together, and he got this place. It was a mansion on Lincoln in South Salem there. For the life of me, can't think of what it's called. Anyways, it's got a name, but it wasn't ready. Yeah. So they moved into these condos right at the base of the hill where my family lived, and we would walk through those condos on the way to school. We would see him eating his lunch, and we didn't know it at the time, but his wife was already starting to take walks around the lake with his driver.
Right, Bernie Gusto.
Bernie Justo, who was
a sheriff that also, I think, appeared on Cops a number of times.
Yeah, he's what a piece of shit.
Or I'm thinking
you're thinking and C.W. Jensen. Yeah, no, Bernie ended up.
Jensen, that's
Bernie ended up. So they transferred him. He ended up at the Gresham Police, and then he became Multnomah County Sheriff. The only reason he got those increased gigs is he was basically blackmailing them.
Right.
Because Goldschmidt's earlier wife had told him.
But Goldschmidt reminds me, he sort of was like Oregon's Bill Clinton, I thought they were very similar. They're like the same age.
Well, Bill Clinton was poor,
similar taste.
Here's something. My grandfather...
Wasn't Goldschmidt kind of poor, or was he?
No,
he was always rich.
His dad was an accountant for M. Jacobs Furniture in Eugene.
No kidding.
My grandfather worked for his dad.
Wow.
Yeah, just for a couple of years between the war, and then in 1947 my grandparents moved back to the coast and took over the cave. But during that time my grandfather worked for Goldschmidt's dad.
I work hard for my title of Mr. Oregon.
Sure.
But you just stole Mr. Oregon.
Oh,
from me
there are
with that
people
one.
out there
You
way
got
beyond
with
me.
Mr.
There are
Oregon.
people far
Rich
beyond me
is
out
Mr.
there.
Oregon tonight.
Corner to the quorum.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the Mueller expression? I cede the floor or something. What was it?
I take your question.
I take your
Yeah.
question. I take.
But as far as your assertion that Goldschmidt would be like Clinton, I think there's a lot there. The self-importance was definitely there. Clinton, still, I don't think quite as much of like a neoliberal as Goldschmidt was. Goldschmidt was in favor of Goldschmidt was in favor of private prisons. So remember those guys who want to build the casino out where the dog track was in Gresham?
Mm-hmm.
There's just these super rich guys from Lake Oswego. They've tried to do it. I think they've given up pretty much.
I think I've probably done sound for some of them.
Probably.
Yeah.
They probably tried to stiff you because my understanding is that they're scumbags. Anyways,
The more they live on the lake, the more they try to stiff you.
the constant boat gas.
You're going to charge me for this? Do you know who I am? There's a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. So these guys, back in the 80s, they were trying to get the state contracts for private prisons because our prisons were so fucked up. This is right around the time of the Michael Frankie assassination.
Yes.
It was just, it
Which
was around
still,
the corner.
that's weird, right? This is a bunch of...
Oh, sure. Well, they let that guy go. The guy they convicted, they let him go. So...
It's a hit. I mean, not that I'm alleging anything. Allegedly, it was a hit.
Yeah.
I'm alleging.
There was a car dealer from Staten who was murdered about a year and a half before him. And the Salem legend is that the murder of this car dealer and the murder of Michael Frankie are connected, because this car dealer was facilitating the flow of drugs into the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, we were just living in Salem, and...
you were oblivious to all of this.
Weren't connected to any of that. Yeah, my dad was in the business world, which was different from that government world.
So, but in the 70s, your family might have been hobnobbing with some of this. No.
I don't think so. My grandfather could have been someone of substantial influence, but he was a bad drunk.
I think my Uncle Jim smoked a joint with Goldschmidt.
Here's so check this out. I don't want to take up too much time. A lot of people do. One of my favorite topics. So my shrink, the guy that I still go to today, used to treat women with eating disorders. So that woman that Goldschmidt was abusing when he was mayor, good friend of my shrink's, he taught her how to run like women's eating disorder groups and stuff like that. And so what he told me is that Goldschmidt was abusing her and raping her, technically, right?
Right, sure.
And then they continued on, and she was his coke dealer when he was governor.
Okay, right. Because you saw the article in Willamette Week, the big expose. Well, there was his version in the Oregonian, but like the poor girl was getting tailed in Satyricon and stuff from what I heard.
Yeah, she was hanging out. Virginia Cafe was one of her big spots, and she kept trying to work as a...
I know, I must have probably run into her one time or another, not really realizing it. But so is the lead singer of the Wipers. I saw a picture of him, and he was one of those ghost guys that would just sort of... you missed all that. You weren't in that scene in the early 90s.
I was still in high school.
Very young.
Here's another thing real quick. My shrink told me about that woman who he said she was a bigger nerd than anybody knew. She was sleeping with two different members of Toto at the same time. I'm not making that up.
Wow.
Yeah. He and I, my shrink and I, we were talking about drums one day, and I was just like, we've pulled the line now. Yeah. We were talking about the Rosanna halftime shuffle. He's like, wait a minute, Toto. Now, I know a little about Toto.
Love isn't always on time.
Exactly. There you go. So that's our big lecture here.
That's Africa, right, Toto?
Yeah.
So
we used to play Africa.
We used to do it, and then I forgot how 3/5 time works, and I can't do it anymore. But it was like sort of that Africa song. I found the research on it was. He wrote that because he was watching like a Sally Struthers commercial. You know that he's never been to Africa. He just got really emotional watching one of her ads back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's why we have that song. And the video, I think, kind of reflects that too.
Yeah.
But anyways,
we might be digressing a little bit.
We're talking about Toto. Patrick, being a young writer, would you rather we don't talk about Toto? Or are you into that?
He's a real NIMBY when it comes to Toto.
my back. My back, Oz.
It's like, hold the line. Adequate parking is not always on time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too much of a fan of Toto. I mean, Talk. I mean, I only know that they had that one in one or two songs, and I didn't really think they were that great songs. Like, some of the bands I've been getting into is Luxacolta.
Luxacolta. What now? So is that
There's
one
like
of
a
these
Swedish-
young hip Gen Z things?
Actually, they're very obscure. Like, few people know about them. And they're Swedish, and they do metal, and a little bit of jazz and electronic is sprinkled in, but mostly metal and. They make some.
Metal, Swedish metal. There's a wasn't Yngwie Malmsteen was Swedish,
Was he
right?
Swedish?
I think
Oh,
so.
okay.
Aren't the
Oh,
Malmsteens Swedish?
That would make
double
sense.
chords up in there.
Yeah. In the triplets. Made me want to. Steve was a big fan. Steve turned me on to him.
Oh yeah, Larry Hurwitz introduced me.
Don't deck
Larry
tuplets.
Hurwitz, yeah.
Don't
There's
deck
a-
tuplets. That's why those in the
Like
Yngwie Malmsteens.
That's right. That's right.
Larry Hurwitz. Oh yeah, you guys must have done some gigs at the.
What with the Starry Night? Yeah, the Peasant Revolution band back at the Starry Night days. That was some wild shit. If I can be frank, man, there was, a lot of.
Simply outrageous.
There was a lot of cocaine, but I never did the cocaine. I was sort of looking for where we're gonna load our truck in at.
Sure.
Well, the other guys, I had some bad guys with me then. Is before the wonderful peasants you see before you tonight. But the Starry Night days, we used to party, and Larry Hurwitz was like the man. He knew where all the action was.
I heard he was the man up until like 2 weeks ago again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was doing some kind of promotions work locally.
Really?
Yeah, and
He's
he
back in action.
You heard he got busted for coke, right?
Right.
Yeah, and apparently he'd been doing some kind of work up here. He went, so they arrested him, he went to prison, he got out of prison,
Yeah.
got a degree at PCC. I'm not sure, I looked up his
Really?
LinkedIn, he got some degree in something at PCC, and then started working in like a community promotions or something like that.
Wow.
He was apparently also dealing cocaine, which I didn't really know that people still do that.
Well, and that's why Portland is such a forgiving town. I just like to
Sure.
let people know that. And
Yeah, you do a little garroting, but that was in like 1990, right? So
well,
that's-
let me tell you something, Rich.
Counterfeiting.
yeah. Well, that was Jeff, wasn't it? Jeff was duplicating the tickets and selling them, and then they weren't taking
Yeah,
them.
but much more recently than that, in all that ticket issue, I was at a gig actually, and we were working with the mayor, and I got to film the mayor, Ted Koppel, Mayor Koppel, is that his? Wheeler.
Ted Kaczynski.
Ted Wheeler, that's his name. Anyway, I just Mayor Wheeler did a wonderful thing that I was working with, and it was actually he opened the Blackburn Center, which is a new 500 bed space in right on East Burnside, 122nd, and they have a pharmacy, drug and alcohol counseling. All of it built into it, and transitional housing, and it's a wonderful new. It's one of those things that makes you proud about Portland. So I'd like to actually, say here when credit's due, that the mayor had a good thing here,
Yeah.
and maybe.
Well, the problem is that you keep going and protesting at his house in the middle of the night. It's freaking his family out.
Well, I know that's the other side of me. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't like the mayor, and there's this one thing I don't like about the mayor. It's
Hey, Jeff.
it's my lovely wife Jamila. Jamila, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Hi, what's going on?
Oh, I was just gonna remind you
Yeah.
of the end of the evening's arrived.
She's come to remind me that the end of the evening has arrived. End of the evening has arrived. Well,
What could that mean?
Good night, Jeff.
good night, Jeff.